This has to be the longest running teasing of a character, I swear to God. We've been known Glox is gonna come out. I mean, the LR version of Glox is gonna come out. And then, oh, it's not this week, even though Hero Reno is gonna come out this week. It's gonna be next week. But now we actually know even that what the character does. We just got info from 7DS Leaks. Before that, I need to fulfill a contractual obligation because somehow GamerSups decided to drop a skateboard with their next drop. They're going insane. Tomorrow, 3 p.m. EST, the 19th, Friday. They usually drop just, you know, the shaker and the shirt. But they're dropping a skateboard of the character as well. They're going insane. So the new Glox. So use code NAG for 10% off, stuff like that. The new Glox. How good is he? I don't know. I actually didn't read. I wanted to read on camera. So shoutouts to Kane and 7DS Leaks for the info here. So GLOXINIA, passive, the King Virtue, increases the ally's defense related stats by 30% for every alive ally. Okay. So 90% off the bat. Increases allies' attack related stats by 40% when an ally dies. 40%. That is a hefty condition, of course. But 40% is crazy. Reduces enemies' critical chance by 30 and critical damage by 40 if bleed is applied. 40% attack related stats. If one of your characters die, you actually one-shot the whole enemy team. That's a crazy thing. Because, like, I mean, it doesn't say anywhere, and probably, I don't know how it looks in game for 7DS Leaks, but, you know, there should be like in the game, in the passive, there will be like a symbol, you know, showing if it works in the back or not. Like, the low, let me show, for example, right? Real Glox's passive has his, like, sword, which means that he only works in the front. The open hand means they also work in the back, right? I would be curious to know, does this work in the back? Do they change the passive to make it work in the back or not? Because that would be a big deal. If Glox can work in the back with any team in the game doing this, that would be insane. And if he doesn't, he's still probably pretty good. So Glox obviously is going to have LR stats, right? So he's not going to be... it's not like he's going to be a dead weight on your team or something like that. And this passive is giving everyone insane defense potential. The problem is, like, what team can you slot him in realistically? Because you're looking at, you know, maybe you can run Bon, because he works with fairies, right? You can run Bon, King, and Glox. That's the biggest problem here, because if it doesn't work in the back, and you have to run him in the front, you're not going to run Melee. Melee doesn't work with fairies. Liz obviously is working with fairies. Like, Goddess is a completely separate thing. The unknowns, stuff like that. You kind of need a character that actually works around him, which really there's only two. The new King and Bon. And then whatever back unit. Maybe Zeldris, I don't know. That's not going to be the issue. But if it's like, if one of your characters dies, and no, that being not Glox, right? You're going to be outputting an insane amount of damage. But that's like a really hefty condition, right? Skill 1 now has Sever, triple crit chance, and makes targets bleed. So original Glox has bleed on skill 1, so this definitely is not going to be changed, right? He's going to skill 1 bleed, so... Oh, is this his level 1? 154. That should be his level 1, right? Yeah, that's a level 1 multiplier. Okay. Because, like, level 2 here, I'm looking at it. This is level 1? Because it disables attack and buff skills for 2 turns. That can't be his level 1. 198% has... No, that's level 3. That is level 3. So I wonder if the level 1 applies the buff skill or the attack seal. That would be interesting to see. This is not his level 1. This is level 3. His level 3 used to be a 180 multiplier, now it's a 198. Makes sense. Because level 1 used to be a 150 multiplier, now it's 154. I am curious to see what his level 1 does. If his level 1 can AoE buff seal or attack seal in the first turn, that'd be really, really strong. Really, really strong. And the ultimate applies a debuff that decreases all stats by 30 for all turns to all enemies. Inflicts ruin to one enemy. Damn. This character could be the biggest flop in history, because he has a super good passive, but like how you're gonna use him, or he could be insanely meta. We're gonna have to see. Just looking at what he does, it's like I can see, you know, this being an insanely clutch character and making like really good use out of the 40% could be huge, but like how often is gonna happen? How often are the enemies gonna be targeting your other characters to allow you to do this? And like, is he gonna be doing enough damage with that 40%? Because his multipliers aren't very high, right? The bleed card can do a ton of damage with the bleed debuff. Like if you do get the 40% and you do like even level 1 single target with bleed, assuming his LR stats are like comparable to obviously Asken or Melly, whatever, the bleed after the fact is going to do a ton of damage, right? The attack is going to do a decent amount of damage, and then the bleed, he's going to crit as well. It's guaranteed crit here, 2 crit chance. The bleed's going to do a ton of damage. The AoE, I don't know. The AoE is probably not so much. This character could be stupid strong. I'm now a little more excited. I mean, I knew he was gonna be strong. It's just that he's just such an odd character because, this I just realized this translation doesn't have the Holy Relic. There's no way they're gonna drop his LR without the Holy Relic. By the way, like there's no way. They dropped Lost Vein, and he got his Holy Relic alongside the LR. He is definitely gonna get his Holy Relic. So we don't know what his Holy Relic is either. You know, we got the character translation, but I guess the info on the Holy Relic wasn't available. So we also have to account that his Holy Relic could be something that helps with his passive or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe the Holy Relic, he can apply bleed with the AoE. Just spitballing. Because, like, if he could apply that 30 and 40 debuff to everyone on the field, and that would be pretty strong. I think. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. I mean, its shaping should be a pretty good strong character. Again, I think Ban might be his best friend. The fact that he works with fairies to begin with is a bit of a clutch for Glox, I think, because like who else? Really, everyone that releases now is super tight to their own like niche group of character, right? Like Melly is tight to the demons and sins, and then you know Ban would have been tight to just sins, but then they fixed him and made him also available for humans and now fairies as well, right? You know, so I'm saying like the new king works with fairies. So I'm guessing they want you to run him with the new king and potentially Ban. But I don't know. If he works in the back, I don't think he will. Like I think the passive is way too strong to work in the back. I think way too strong. I cannot see that passive working in the back at all. If it does, he's going to be the strongest back in the entire game. You're going to be using him everywhere. So, you know, we'll have to see. So far, looking really strong though.